All right. Number 3, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Okay, you don't drop into conversation the name of God, where it doesn't belong. You know, taking God's name in vain is not just adding a curse word behind God. That's one version of it, but I see this happen all the time. People will just throw in the name God where it doesn't belong in their vain conversation. That's what it means to use the word God vainly. You know, they'll say, well, good, and using the God's name. Or my, you know, they hit their thumb with a hammer. Oh my, and then they'll say God's name. Okay, that's what it means to take God's name vainly in your everyday vain conversation where it doesn't belong. Okay? A lot of people, a lot of children. I hear, ignorant parents teach their ignorant children to take God's name in vain. And you'll see children, teenagers, taking God's name, using that name where it does not, it belongs in reverence, worship. Okay, that's where God's name belongs. You don't just use it flippantly throughout your day, the name of God. Okay, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Okay, the Sabbath is not Sunday. Sunday is the first work day of the week. What people do on Sunday is not Sabbath keeping. Okay, a 45-minute worship service is not even the definition of what Sabbath keeping is all about. So whatever you're doing on Sunday, I can guarantee you it's not. Don't kid yourself in thinking you're keeping a Sabbath on Sunday, because you're not. Okay, now if you keep God's Sabbath, you will be labeled, the fourth commandment, as a cult. Yeah, I'm not kidding you. That guy keeps the fourth commandment, he's a cult. They're a cult. The Seventh-day Adventists are labeled as cults. They're some of the nicest people you ever want to meet. Been to their church before. And they're very extremely professional and nice, and put a little bit too much emphasis on Ellen G. White, but other than that, anyway, but if you keep the fourth commandment, obey God, you will be labeled as a cult. Genesis 2 and verse 3, and God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because in that he rested from all his work which God created and made. The Sabbath day identifies the God that you serve. It identifies that you serve the Creator God of the universe. Don't forget that one. The Sabbath identifies the God that you serve. Now, the last 6 commandments tell us how to love our fellow man. Now, a lot of people will say, well, Jesus only gave 2 commandments. Love God and love your neighbor as yourself. That's all I got to do, and it's up to me to decide how to do that. No. Jesus was summarizing the 10 commandments. The first 4 tell you how to love God. The last 6 tells you how to love your fellow man. In fact, all 613 laws in the Bible tell us how to do just that. They are explanations of how to love God, love your fellow man. Any law you want to look at tells us how to do that. Okay. All right. Honor your father and mother. Exodus 20 and verse 12 says, honor your father and mother, that your days may be long upon the land which the Lord God gives you. This is referred to as the commandment of promise. The promise is, if you honor your father and mother, you will live long on the land. Yeah. Thou shalt not kill. I don't think that needs much explaining.
Check us out on the web at isthatreallyinthebible.com.